everybody. We are going to be doing a butchering today of 10 breast chickens, 3 guineas, and 6 random red chickens that someone gave me for free. So the breasts are 16 weeks old. The reds are probably about 20 to 22 weeks old-ish. And the guineas are about 9 months old. So we're going to do a video on that outside. Also, it's freakishly cold, and the plucker I ordered 6 weeks ago didn't come. I haven't gotten an update on tracking in like a month, so we were going to do scalding and plucking, but that won't be happening today. So this is going to be very minimalistic. We're just using what we have, and it's also freezing cold outside. We knew that was going to happen, but we couldn't get breasts any sooner than we did, so we just decided to deal with it. Outside, I have the kill cone. I also have a really sharp knife, and I have a bucket with a trash bag in it. This is where we're going to do that. I'm not going to say it, but yeah, it's pretty obvious what happens here. Yeah. All right, we finished these yesterday. They've been in an ice bath for a little over 24 hours. All right, inside my kitchen, we have sanitized everything really good. I have paper towels around. I have alcohol around, just stuff to clean with, all that kind of stuff. I also have gloves. My husband wanted to use these, so I got some with really good grippers on them. And then I have several knives around, and I have several scissors around. I made sure they're very sharp, and they're also new. I don't really care if they're new, but these ones are. I have a bowl I'm gonna put like vinegar and hot water in, or warm water at least, and a sponge just in case I need to like wipe their butts or their feet or anything like that. Again, our plucker and our scalder didn't come, so I expect them to be a little dirtier than usual. And we're just kind of figuring it out as we go. We kind of got 2 stations going here. Sorry, I'm kind of close, but we're gonna have one station here and then one station over here. The first station, I am going to skin them and take off their feet. And the second station over here, my husband is gonna take out the guts. And we have a lot of different bowls going on. We're gonna keep the feet and the necks. We have a trash bucket. Also, I'm gonna be making broth with the feet, in case anyone's wondering what's going on there. We have trash, feathers, the oil gland, the intestines and the bile sacs are gonna go in here, and anything else we don't want. I actually wanted to keep the skins. I really like chicken skin, but that won't be happening today because my plucker didn't come. And I don't feel like we're experienced enough to pluck and learn everything we need to learn all in one day. I have a little bit of experience doing quail, but that's very minimal, and my husband has never done any sort of butchering, so I don't want to overwhelm him too much. So today we're just going to throw out the skins, even though it kind of hurts me on the inside a little bit. This is our keep bowl as well. We have 2 keep bowls. I'm going to keep the heart, lungs, liver. I haven't decided where I'm putting the necks. I want to put the necks in for broth as well, so I haven't decided that. But I'm going to be taking our organs and making dog treats from them, basically, because I haven't come around to eating organs, and that's just not happening this time. I also have different zip ties because I really want to be able to compare all these birds. So Bresse is known for meat and laying, and then we have a random red bird, which I'm assuming whatever it is for laying mostly. And then we have guineas. So my plan is to eventually cook a Bresse, a red bird, and a guinea all in one day and like compare them. And that would be like a baked chicken probably, or maybe I'll like do some sort of grilling with them. But I'm so sad I don't have the skins because I really wanted to compare the skins of those two. But that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do that in a separate video though. So the breasts have that blue tag. Lily, quiet. Sorry. The guineas have all that yellow fat and a yellow tag. And the red ones that we're assuming are some type of laying hen have the red tag. So we got 6 reds, 10 breasts. This is a breast. That's a breast. And 2 guineas because we couldn't do the 3rd guinea because we named her. So that's our fault. She was always the runt. And we call her Midge. So I said as long as she's not too loud, and she's being nice to everyone, she can stay. Otherwise, we'll just rehome her. We don't plan on having any guineas in the future. Yeah, so I took them out, dried them off, looked for any bits of like feather that we missed. Obviously, they are not perfect because this was our first time and we're learning, but that's okay. That's what we expected. They also don't look like Cornish cross, which is what we expected. We didn't want a Cornish cross. We're just hoping they taste okay. We're okay that they're smaller. And we are going to take and put them in these shrink wrap bags. And then they have like a little straw. I don't know if you can see that. But you put the straw in there. Just make sure it's not against any flesh because otherwise it won't work. And you put the top out there and zip tie it. But not so tight that like it crushes the straw. And you need to be able to pull the straw out later. Dip it in about 190 degrees water. And then you pull the straw out and label it and do whatever you need to do. After that, we're going to keep them in the fridge for another 1 to 2 days and then put them in our freezer. And of course, we're going to label them by their type and the date and all of that kind of stuff. I should have started out this video saying it is not a tutorial. I just hope somebody can get inspiration to do this, even if they can't afford equipment or they don't have equipment or their equipment doesn't come like ours did. Really, everything went as planned. We knew it was going to take us longer because we're learning, but that's okay. Our stations worked as planned for the most part. The kill cone worked as planned. You don't even need that if you don't have it. You can tie them up with a string or something like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Anybody can do this. As long as you're allowed to have chickens, obviously. Some people can do this even if they aren't allowed to have chickens. I won't tell. Some thoughts, if this is your first time. We were prepared for the looks, but we were not prepared for the smell. So just be aware that you're going to have to get used to a lot of different smells. Obviously, blood has a very different smell, but this smells even different than that. I don't know how to describe it. It's a smell that I've never smelled until I did this. And it's very like chicken specific. I don't even remember that smell when I butchered quail, but it's been a long time since I did that. So it could have been similar and I just don't remember. We were also learning how to like process through all the emotions that come with this. So we took breaks and we talked and there was a lot to process. So just be aware that you need to take your time the first time you do it. Yeah, I'm going to start bagging these once they dry off a little bit. And then I'm going to stick them in the shrink wrap. Not the shrink wrap. I'm going to stick these shrink wrapped chickens in the water of about 190 degrees. And then they're going in my fridge. All right, I'm about to dunk this baby. I did want to say too, don't freak out if you can't have shrink wrap bags, it's fine. You can cut them up, put them in Tupperware. You can put them in baggies. You can put them in giant Ziploc bags. It doesn't matter. Just don't put them in the freezer right away. Let them chill for a couple days before you do that. But yeah, don't stress if you can't have this. This is just like a little extra that we decided to do to keep them longer because we're not going to go through them as fast as like a big family. There's only 2 of us here. All right, we're dunking him. I can't see what I'm doing because of the phone, but I think I hear air coming out. All right, I had to put down my phone because I couldn't see what I was doing, but he's done. I took the straw out, this thing. He's gonna go in the fridge soon. Obviously I'm not gonna cook him with these zip ties. They're just for IDing which birds are which. So take that off before you cook it. And I didn't have my thermometer. I cannot find my meat thermometer anywhere. So this is just a not too hot, not too cold situation, and it seemed to work okay. So we're getting more minimalistic as we go on. All right, that went quite smoothly. I'm really happy with it. I had to grab like a giant spoon to make sure I could keep it underwater without burning myself, but that was fine. And I found my thermometer, and we were actually almost exactly where we needed to be at like a medium heat with the pot of water I had, and that's just a normal pot. You don't need a fancy pot. Maybe a little more than medium, and I just kept it there, and it did really well. I'm very happy about it. Alright, I put those chickens in the fridge and got working on the organs. These are going to be treats for my dogs. I'm dehydrating them at 167, probably for about 24 hours. I'll go longer if I need to. I'll check them tomorrow. And after that, they go in the oven a little bit just to make sure they're safe to eat. And then store them in the fridge. Alright, I just took the chicken organ, jerky, dog treat things out of my dehydrator after 24 hours. They are crispy, not chewy, which is how I want them for my dogs. I'm going to put them in the oven at 275 for probably like 20, 30, maybe even more minutes. What is it called? The Center for Home Preservation at the University of Georgia does not have an approved recipe for organ meats that I saw. So I'm going to make sure the internal temps of any thick pieces is like 180 degrees. And at that point, I feel pretty safe about giving these to my dogs. I'm going to keep them in the fridge. And I am only going to keep them probably a few weeks. So, yeah, I'm not officially recommending this recipe. It's not my recipe to begin with, but I have changed it. So just be aware and do what you think is safe for your pets and your family. Alright, these are done and my dogs love them. I decided not to make chicken feet broth. I just couldn't do it. Maybe next time. I'm still proud of us because we did this all by ourselves in a very old-fashioned way. Because we were lacking the equipment that we thought was going to be here. And we used the organs. So I'm still proud of us. Yeah, they love them. Lily, sit. Sit. Sit, come on. You're stubborn. Okay, I guess Fallon gets better. Sit. Lily, sit. Okay. Somebody sent help. She's stubborn. Fallon's such a good boy. Sit, Lily.